Hey guys, so day 30 is here, so on to our next challenge class, and today we are challenging ourselves with arm balances. So again, these can be a little intimidating, but I ask you to just try them out, see what happens, and always know that whether you succeed or fail, yoga is not about succeeding or failing. It is about effort, it is about where your mind is and staying in a sense of equanimity. So succeed or fail, right, wrong, it's kind of just really noticing and observing where your head goes when being challenged. So let's hop on our mats on our backs and let's challenge ourselves. Um, so we're going to just warm up our core with some reclined arm balances. All right, so knees bent, feet on the floor. Let's just take a quick deep inhale, deep down into the bowl of your pelvis. Then a full exhale. Another inhale, another exhale. One more inhale, one more exhale. Pull your right knee in towards your chest, hold your shin. Extend your left leg out. Hover your heel up off the ground. Make sure your back ribs, your bra strap, doesn't pop up off the ground. So press your rib cage into the mat. Take your pubic bone to your navel point. Stay strong. One more inhale. Exhale, pull your left knee in. Straighten your right leg out. Hover your foot an inch off the ground. Keep your back body into the mat. Don't let your toes turn out, all 5 toes pointing towards the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale, pull your right knee in towards your chest, holding both shins. Pull your knees wide and hug them up into your armpits. Now release your shins. Take your palms to the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale, curl your chest up and press your hands past your feet. So knees into your armpits. Act as if you're trying to lift your sacrum up off the ground. Take your shoulder blades up off the ground. Press your hands past your feet. Reclined crow pose. Inhale, release. We'll do that one more time with a little bit of difference here. So pull your knees in towards your armpits, but now bring the bottoms of your feet together. Press your feet in towards each other. Pull your knees in. Press your palms to the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale, curl your chest up. Keep your feet together. Press your hands past your feet. Pull your knees in. Now squeeze your knees onto your arms as your arms resist your knees. Keep lifting your chest. Keep lifting your sacrum. One more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Drop your knees in towards each other. All right, so that's reclined crow pose. Now we're going to do reclined twisted crow pose. So now pull your knees in towards your chest. We're going to squeeze our legs together. We have one leg here. Our legs are not separate here. Squeeze them together. Press your palms to your ceiling. Take your hands over to your right. Turn to the point where your left arm is just outside of your right leg. Now lift your shoulder blades up off the ground. Feel your left arm slide against the outside of your right thigh. So there's that connection of arm to thigh. And now press further with your right hand, trying to lift your right shoulder blade up off the ground. Lift your sacrum up off the ground. Inhale, release. Take a moment. We'll do the second side. All right, squeeze your legs together, lift your feet up, palms to ceiling. Now first, all I want you to do is rotate your palms over to the left. Make sure that right arm is connected to your left thigh. Now, curl your chest up. Don't let that right arm leave the thigh. Imagine your hands are on the floor, so your shoulder width distance. Now press further with your left arm to lift your left shoulder blade up off the ground. Lift your sacrum up off the ground. Hold. Inhale. Exhale, release. Drop your knees together. Take a moment. All right, both legs to the sky. So this is another version of a twisted crow pose with our legs straight, palms to the sky. Drop your hands to the right. Deep inhale. Exhale, curl your chest up. Find that left arm, right thigh connection. Press your hands through your thighs or past your thighs. Right hand a little bit further. Lift your sacrum up. Press, press, press. Resist thigh and forearm. One more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Bend the knees. Take a moment. All right. Legs straight up to the sky. Palms to the sky. Second side. Drop your arms to the left. Curl your chest up. Right arm to left thigh. Strong connection. Press further through your palms. Further through your left palm. Lift your sacrum. Lift, lift, lift. Hold, hold, hold. Crunch. Squeeze your legs together. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Bend the knees. Drop your knees together. All right. So now take your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Keep your arms to your side. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, pull your left thigh towards yourself. Drop it down. And just do a few pulses here, just opening up our hips. Pull the thigh towards you. Use that core muscle to pull it towards you. Drop it down. Pull it up. Drop it down. Pull it up and hold. Palms to the ceiling. Reach them over your shin and connect. Try and reach your elbows past your right shin. Straighten your left leg. Lift your sacrum off the ground. Lift your shoulder blades up off the ground. And release. Uncross, let the knees drop in. Second side, so left ankle over right thigh. Just relax your hands to the side to start with. Pull the right thigh towards you. Release it back to the ground. Lift it up. Drop it down. Lift and lower. On this one, lift and hold. Palms to the ceiling. Lift your shoulder blades up off the ground. Try to reach your elbows past your shin. And then anchor your arms onto your shin. Straighten out your right leg. Lift your sacrum. Lift, lift, lift. And release. Uncross. Drop your knees in towards each other. All right. Ready to do this on our hands? All right, so this isn't necessarily going to be a flow class. We're just going to play around with arm balances. So if we get into an arm balance and you're like, no, I just gave you all the examples of the same arm balance, but on your back. So if you ever feel like you just want to drop onto your back again and do the stuff, the arm balance reclined, definitely go do that. So we started with crow pose, so that's what we'll start with here. So if you come into a deep yoga squat, so malasana, just allow your hips to sink, your knees are wide, your heels, let them sink. They don't necessarily have to be on the ground. Let's take a moment to settle in here. All right, and now for crow pose. Now if you do want to try this, but the chance of face planting is kind of scary, you can grab a pillow and kind of put it in front, but know that I've fallen a lot, and even though it seems scary, we're still very close to the floor, so it doesn't really hurt. So If you don't have a pillow handy, you can also just use blocks for that added support there. All right, so hands, thumbs turned out, peace fingers turned out slightly. And then you're going to start to lift the hips and walk your feet in so you can kind of bring your knees into your armpits. So just like we were on our back, right? Knees to armpits. Press up onto your tippy toes, knees into armpits. Now continue to gaze forward because that's going to be your counterbalance. Start to bring your weight onto your hands. Scoop your belly up around that sacrum just like you were trying to lift that sacrum off the mat. Find that same lower belly engagement. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. And maybe lift one foot, maybe lift 2 feet up off the ground. Bring your inner feet together. Keep lifting those knees up. Keep coiling your core. And then lower back down. You can come onto your knees, roll out your wrist. All right, so now we have the twisted crow pose. So same idea, just our knees are going to be over to one side. So we're going to start bringing our feet together. And then instead of facing this way, facing straight onto the mat, turn your body about 45 to 90 degrees off to your left. All right, so our knees are pointing out to the left. And now we need to rotate our chest back to the right so we can hook our left arm to the outside of the right thigh, right? We just did that on our backs. Keep your thighs squeezing together. And now set up your hands like we just did for normal crow pose. So both thumbs pointing forward, peace fingers kind of pointing out and away from each other. Kind of really scoop up your belly to kind of allow that twist to happen a little bit better. Again, gaze is forward. Lift the hips slightly, start to lean forward. Keep turning your gaze forward. Maybe you just get here. Or squeeze your legs together, start to lift the feet. Reach your chest forward. Gaze forward, squeeze your legs. And lower down. Nice jump. Come to your knees. Roll out the wrists. So I'll do the second side, but I'll do it facing you. Excuse me. So come bringing the bottom, bring your big toes together. So now turn your knees to about 45 or 90 degrees to the right, and then twist back to the left and get that connection of the right arm out to the left knee. Now this, when I'm ever twisting back towards the left, I'm a little bit more restricted, so this may not go as smoothly as the other side. But like I said, it's challenging and one side's always going to be different than the other. So I still do it. It just might not be for as long, or I might not be able to do it at all. But that's okay. I'm here. I'm working at it. I don't give up. Squeeze your legs together. Look forward. Start to bend in the elbows to create a shelf for your legs. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. Maybe you just get here. Or lift your feet up off the ground, gaze forward. So you have a little bit more wobbling here. And lower down. Ooh, come to your knees. Roll your wrists out. All right, so the next thing that we worked on was the twisted crow pose with legs straight. So this is a little bit more challenging. Sometimes for me, this pose comes easier than other days. So again, we'll just see how it goes. Like I said, I can't do these poses all the time. So I'm challenging myself today, just like you're challenging yourself today. So come onto your feet, big toes together. Let's turn our toes To the left, 45 to 90 degrees. Setting up just like before. So now twist back to the right, left arm to the outside of the right thigh. Thumbs and peace fingers rolled out, look forward, start to lean forward. Bending the elbows, creating that shelf. And then if you come to the point where you're lifting your feet, work to squeeze your knees straight. And then lower down. Whew. That one, that's a tough one, but hey, it's energizing. It's kind of it's an adrenaline rush. No matter, even when I was a beginner, and I remember when I thought arm balances are so out of my ability. I never expected myself to do any of them. But as I practiced, as I let go of the fear of failure, each time I tried it, no matter how far I got into the pose, it was exhilarating. So don't let succeed or failure determine the outcome. Just let it be as it is and enjoy it. So let's do the second side. Again, this side, I'm not going to promise you that I'll get up into this pose either. So let's turn our knees over to the right, twist back to the left, get our hands set up, thumbs out, point, peace fingers out, kind of snuggle that upper arm into your thigh to create that shelf. Look forward, start to lean forward. If you can get those feet lifted and you're balanced, work to straighten your limbs. See, I almost got there, but I fell out. But it doesn't make me a better person or worse person if I can do it or not, right? It just makes me somebody that attempted something challenging. So let's see. The next one, the next one was the figure four arm balance. So usually we need, that's why I kind of worked into it, wanted to get the hips opened a little bit. So let's come up to stand. And that's just, we'll come here, come to stand, and we're going to come into a standing figure four position. So right ankle, cross it over the top of your left knee, and come to sit back and come back into that hip stretch. You can bring your hands onto your shin here and just really start to sink back and really start to bring your chest as close to your shin as possible. Just take a few breaths here. Not really moving into an arm balance yet. We just need to tap into our outer hip here before we go any further. Stand up. We'll do same thing, second side. So left ankle is going to cross over the right thigh. And as you begin to sit down, take the hips back. Hinge at your hip crease. Keep your chest forward as you slowly lower your chest towards your shin, decreasing the space between your thigh and your chest. All right. So if you're already like, nuh-uh, no way, not going to happen. Again, you can always come onto your back and do that variation on our back, or you can stick with doing what we just did, the standing figure four pose, to deepen that hip flexion if that's where you're kind of getting restricted. If you need to work on opening up your hips more, just come back into that standing figure four pose and stretch out the hips a little bit more. Or go on to your back, because that stretches your hips too, and add that crunch into it. Or join me and let's see how this pose goes. So let's do our right leg. The right leg's always a little bit easier for me, so we'll start with the easy side. So we're coming back into our figure four pose, starting to hinge down, and then we need to be able to get our hands to the floor. So just kind of working our way slowly. Again, it's about patience. Learning is about patience, right? So when you bring your left arm down, make sure it's to the inside of your right foot and that you're deeply flexing your right foot, because that's going to be a hook for your left arm. So now, once we get our hands onto the floor, we have our right foot hooked to the outside of our left upper arm bone. Again, gaze forward, lean forward, and now lift your back foot up off the ground. Maybe this is as far as you go, and that's okay. Or begin to squeeze your butt cheek and lift your leg back. Pull it back in and try to come out of it as smoothly as possible. Roll out your wrists, take a break. All this stuff, it doesn't happen overnight. It's awesome that you're trying this class. It's awesome that you're challenging yourself, but you have to remember it takes time. Learning takes patience. Learning takes repetition. Learning takes understanding that you're a beginner and that not everything is going to look nothing's going to look perfect when you're attempting it for the first, second, or even third time. It might take 20 times, 50 times to get you there. But it's that perseverance that you need to have within you to not give up. Second side. This side, like I said, my left leg, I injured it a while ago. So the strength and range of motion is just, it's different than the right side. So, but I'm doing it with you guys. So let's see how this goes. So again, we just take our time getting down into our hip stretch. And then once we get down there, again, our right arm's going to come to the inside of our flexed left foot. And then we start to find our hands on our mat. Again, you can bend the right knee to help your hands get to the mat. Walk them forward. Get them planted. Again, thumbs pointing away. Look forward. Hook your left toes around your right upper arm bone. Lean forward. Right toes maybe lift up off the ground. Scoop your lower belly up. And today I'm not going to be able to reach my right leg back, but I got this far. And gently, as controlled as possible, come out. Whew. All right, come to sit on your heels or a cross-legged position. Roll your wrists out. Come up onto your knees. We did a lot of core work, just not a big camel pose, but just let's open our front body. So take your hands to the small of your back. Press your hands forward, lift your pubic bone, look up. Not a deep back bend by any means. Just give some length and openness to your hip flexors. Maybe drop the head back. Tell yourself you did awesome. All right, come back to sit. If you want to do a Savasana, definitely go and do so. But we're at about the 25-minute mark, so I will close off. Bring your hands to heart. Completely exhale. Deep inhale for Om. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May the universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining me in class. More importantly, thank yourself for showing up and working hard. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.